What's going on, you guys? It's Eric McAvoy here with your road to financial freedom, and in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about some money trouble. So let's get right into it. So the rental property I have in North Carolina, my triplex, I bought about a year and a half ago, and when I bought it, it was relatively distressed. I'd had some issues with it. One of those things was the roof. Now, the roof was not 100% bad, didn't need to totally go, but it had some issues with it. And about 2 weeks ago, I had to patch it, and that was $350. And because of the way that it's set up, it's a duplex and a cottage. So the cottage was a $350 patch, and then I got word that it's leaking on the duplex part as well. So when I had a roofer look at that, and he's just like, oh, it's because of your gutters or whatever, and the water's leaking through the soffits. I'll clean those out and it'll fix it. So he did that. No issues for a little bit, and then lo and behold, last week I get a text saying that, hey, the roof's leaking again. So I got another roofer to go out there that same day, and he got back to me and he's like, look, honestly, you could patch it again, but because of the condition, the patch is not going to last very long, and then you're going to need to get a new roof pretty soon anyways. So I got a quote for it, and it's going to be $8,300. So that is going to be $8,300 out of pocket that I'm down. So it's not a whole lot of fun, but it's a good example and a very good reason as to why it's good to have reserves and have cash in the bank. Like I've said numerous times in the past before, always have reserves, always have money, just as a safety net. So got a new roof going on. He should be out there in about 2 days to do it. The plus side is I'll get lots of miles because I'm going to use my credit card and then pay that off just to get the miles. So we got that. But again, with the real estate rental properties, guys, it's a long-term investment. So you're not going to get rich off of a rental property super quick. It's for the long haul. So in my mind, I'm paying $8,300 up front, but over the course of the next 30 years, to know that I have a solid brand new roof, it helps me sleep at night. I'm not gonna have any more issues with leaks and anything like that. So in the long run, it's good. Sucks right now because I gotta bite the bullet, but long term it's gonna be okay. So with that in mind, I most likely will not be moving as soon as I thought if I do move. I know the previous video I talked about how I took the job in North Carolina, and I was considering moving up to North Carolina so I don't have that hour and a half commute or hour and 15-minute commute. But my reserves / down payment was part of this. So I could still move, but if I did, after the down payment, I would have very, very little money left over because of the size of the down payment I'm looking at, plus that. So I'm not super keen on buying a property with almost no money in the bank. And I know I've told you guys that before, we don't want to do that just because, if you buy it and something goes wrong, you're kind of screwed. And me being out of work for the past 3 months, I have not been able to save the amount of money that I typically do because my income essentially got cut by 60%. I'm getting the unemployment, but compared to what I was making, it's just, it's difficult for me to save at that rate. I still can save a little bit, but I've also had to entertain myself in different ways, and a lot of that's been spending money on different things. I went to Florida for 3 weeks, and just been doing little things here and there, kind of spending money because I don't have something else to occupy my time, which is not the best idea, but it is what it is. Hopefully work will open up within the next week or two, but as of now, it's still up in the air. So that's kind of the current update, guys. Money trouble is a new roof. I won't be moving anytime soon. If I do, I still could if I look at much cheaper properties, but because of the location that I'm looking at, which is in and around Asheville, North Carolina, that's just an expensive market overall. I think the median home price there is about 300 to 400 grand. And if I'm looking at a multifamily, it's even a little bit higher. There are some cheaper, but you'd have to go pretty far out. And then the question becomes, is this a good rental market or not? So that's something else I've definitely had to consider. I'm still looking. You know, I'm on Zillow every day and Realtor.com every day, and I've got my agent sending me listings. But for right now, I'm kind of just gonna hunker down and wait till work reopens, work as much as I can, try and save money, and build that reserve and that nest egg back up before I move on to the next property. But in a future video, I do want to talk about a new project and area that I'm going to try and get into, which is long distance investing. So instead of trying to invest in Asheville or Greenville, because the median home price in those areas is, Greenville is slightly cheaper, but it's still the median price I think is about 180 grand. So I'm gonna look in markets where the median home price is 50 to 80 grand, because then the barrier to entry, the monthly mortgage payments, all that kind of stuff is much lower. And right now, my biggest holdup with expanding my portfolio is cash on hand. So if I get into a market where I need a third of the amount of money up front, that'd be a lot easier and a lot more doable for me. And I know markets like that can cash flow better because rents aren't, if the average home price here is 200 grand and in some other place it's 80 grand, the rent does not get cut by more than half, just because it's cheaper. It's a little bit cheaper, but the ratio is different. So that's for another video. I'm going to kind of go into that. I'm actually going to do a screen share on that, so that'll be something fun and exciting that I get to figure out. But a screen share of the properties or the markets that I'm looking at, kind of the metrics that I'm looking at, the factors I'm looking at, what I'm trying to consider when I'm going to get into these markets, and my game plan going into them. So tune in for that. That'll be coming out either this week or next. And outside of that, that's the current money update for now. This is Eric McAvoy with Your Road to Financial Freedom, signing off.